Hi guys, welcome back to Geeks Wargaming. So I have another Blood Bowl team showcase for you today, and this is my brand new Chaos Dwarf team. Just finished these ready for the new season of the WoW LoF League, which is a local league that I have. This is now the third season that I'll be playing in. It's based in Wolverhampton. Really good league. I think there's generally about 20 to 30 coaches that we have. I've generally sort of changed my team every time. First season was the human team that you've seen in a previous showcase. Then I took the Chaos Pact team. I don't mind humans. The Chaos Pact were a bit too random for me. You feel like you want to take the big guys, but the big guys are actually the weakness to the team. So you kind of then lose a bit of flavour for the team. That's just my opinion. I've always liked Chaos Dwarf teams though. Ever since I started playing it on the very first Blood Bowl video game, the Chaos Edition, when Chaos Dwarfs were released in there. And I've just tried them out on the game, and I've really liked them ever since. Never had them as a tabletop team myself, but it was something that I always fancied doing. So I managed to get myself an old Chaos Dwarf team from one of my friends, and I've used some of the parts of that as a base, and I've used some of the Forge World models. I think they're called the what are they called? I think they're just the Infernal Guard miniatures to form the Chaos Dwarfs themselves. So let's just bring them up a bit closer so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the first blocker. Just very minor conversion on this. Basically, it's just a hand swap. So that hand is, I think that's just a Bloodletters hand. So fairly basic colour scheme. I don't go too crazy with my Blood Bowl teams because obviously they're a gaming piece and they get knocked around a lot. I have purity sealed these, so shouldn't get knocked around too badly. I actually went for the base model, which had the I think they're called fire guns or something like that. So they're the Forge World models. Let me bring one up for you actually, so I can show you. Right, okay. So this is what they look like. You then get heads, and you get some arms, which I won't show you. But then you get these guns. But you also get some spare hands. So that's what this hand is here. That's just sort of one of the spare hands, which is already closed. I was going to go for the set that came with the shield and the axe, but it seemed like there'd be a bit more messing around with trying to sort of, you know, sculpt and green stuff the back of the hands back together and then drill out the hand that's holding the axe. So I went with the guns instead, just so I could get these hands, knowing that I was probably more than likely to use something else for a claw hand or something like that. So that's the first guy. Then this guy's probably going to be my team captain. Not that you have a team captain really, but just for, you know, the fun of it really. We kind of name a captain in our little league. So this guy's probably going to be my captain because he's obviously the most unique looking. This was from the Chaos Dwarf Forge World command set. So I've used two models from that command set. So you get this guy. He's got two of these punch daggers, and he also comes with a pistol. So obviously I've used one of the punch daggers on this, and the other one is on a bull centaur that you'll see in a moment. So yeah, just he's got a bit of a gash on his head. Looks like it's going through to the skull, so I've painted that to represent it. I've painted his beard nice and old and mottled, just to give him that look of a veteran player. A few blood splatters here and there, and then some, you know, just light weathering on the bases, just in keeping with all the rest of my Blood Bowl teams really. Oh, camera's going a little bit out of focus. And I bring the dusting up to the back as well, because obviously they've been running up and down the pitch. just to tie it all in. So quite happy with how he's came out. Next one, you always want a Chaos Dwarf, well, all you Chaos Dwarves really, to have claws, because they do a lot of punching. So this is just 2 Demonette of Slanesh claws that I've just replaced. The arms kind of come in one piece, so you basically don't have that bit. That's so you can glue the gun in. So you get this, the elbow, and then this part of the armour there. So you just literally slot that in, nice and easy. Anyone could do that conversion. It's not hard at all. I decided to go with numbers on the helmets as well, because some of them, you know, they look quite bland really, I thought, with just sort of a plain black helmet or a plain red helmet. So I've tried to split up the colour to give them a 2-tone helmet, but then I just like the idea of painting a number on the helmet as well, and then sort of weathering it up a bit so it looks a bit bashed. So yeah, that's that guy. This is the other model that came from the command sprue. You can tell because they've got these extra sort of little leg guards, as has this guy with a beard. This guy, he actually had, I think it was an axe or a mace in this hand, and this arm was actually holding up, I think it was like a banner pole or something like that. So this one's, although it doesn't look it, was a slightly heavier conversion. So what I did is I cut the mace off here, and then I drilled all the way through it, and then heated it up to bend the thumb round, and I think the result's quite good. Quite happy with that. And then I just basically cut the bar either end of the banner, and then this blade here I've actually made by cutting 2 of these off. So I've just basically cut all of that there, and then just added it to the top and the bottom. It looks like quite a nasty little punch dagger there. Free-handed all the numbers on these as well, by the way, just in case you're wondering, and you probably tell. But yeah, I prefer painting the numbers on rather than using some transfers. I don't think the transfers look as good. Magnets in all the bases as well. I'll show you the ball in a second when we get to one of the hobgoblins. So this one here, that fist is actually from the metal bull centaur. I chopped up his body a bit when I was working on the conversion before I decided exactly how I was going to do it for the bull centaur, and I ended up chopping his hands off just to sort of see what they were like for scale, and I thought that actually looks alright just putting it like that. So yeah, that's that one. And then last of all the Chaos Dwarf blockers, I think this is probably one of my favourite ones actually. I really like the sort of the pose with the fist, which is kind of, you know, come on, come at me, and then he's got his claw, also looks like he's going, come on, he wants a bit of a fight, and then his number 8 on his helmet as well. I think that came out quite nicely. And again, blood splatters, because he's going to be doing a lot of punching. Yeah, so that's all the Chaos Dwarfs themselves. Then let's move on to the first of the bull centaurs. So this again, it's a reasonable conversion. It's not terribly hard to do. It's just more if you can get the parts, to be honest with you. 'Cause this is the bottom of this. This is actually the metal Chaos Dwarf bull centaur kit, which it comes with a guy that he's got kind of like a belt there to give him a little bit height, and then he's obviously got the stupid hat, and it was, well, not so much the stupid hat. I quite like the hat, but it was more, he's got a massive nose and he's got massive eyebrows, and I just thought it wasn't really in keeping with this team, so I decided to sort of do something myself with the bull centaurs. So I've used one of the normal Chaos Dwarf bodies here, and as you can see, you've got this really nice seam line. So I just got a razor saw and then I cut from the back all the way through to the beard, and then I just used a scalpel and cut up behind the beard there to join it all up, and then that's quite easy to do that cut. It's not terribly hard at all. The only problem with doing that is it didn't. If you'd attach the body directly to this bit, it looked a bit too short, so I pinned it up to give it a little bit more height. And then I was kind of thinking maybe building some chainmail or something like that. Nothing looked right, so I decided just sort of let's go with a bit of a flabby belly, sort of overhanging on the armour, and I think that looks actually quite good. I was quite happy with how it came out. So I've sort of, you can't really see it, but I've painted it up so it looks like there's sort of flaps of skin, maybe, you know, slight shade. This one's quite a dark skin tone I went for in this one, so you know, it's very subtle highlight and the camera's not really picking it up that well, but you kind of get the idea. Again, bit of blood for the blood clot splattered everywhere. This hand was actually from the bottom of this gun, so I just basically, if it focuses, just carved that completely out, and then obviously just turned it over. Again, if it would focus, turned it over and then put that in, and that's what that looks like there. His arm with a punch dagger, that's the other punch dagger from the command kit. So that was just quite easy to do. So I was quite happy with how he came out. He looks like he's, you know, charging forward and he's about to smack somebody in the face with a nasty punch dagger. So yeah, pretty happy with that. And the next one of the ball centaurs, I like having a ball centaur as a ball carrier. It's not ideal to start with because obviously they've got agility 2, which means you're picking up on a 4+, so you've got to hope for a nice agility increase. But yeah, I tend to sort of try and use a ball centaur as a ball carrier if I can. So I thought I'd represent that with this model. So I've kind of got him a bit more sort of running, protecting the ball. This hand here is actually from the Mighty Zug kit that you get from Forge World. So obviously I didn't you get sort of two hands, so you get one that's like a punching one, and you get one which has got the ball. And Zug would never carry the ball, so yeah, I thought, well, I won't bother giving him it. So I had a spare hand lying around, and it just so happened to be the perfect size for this. So I stuck that one in there, and then this hand again, going back to my little gun, is basically that hand there, and the gun completely carved out, and you still retain that thumb, and yeah, that's what it kind of looks like. So there you go. You can kind of see from an angle that, you know, it is sort of a bit carved out, but you know, unless you're really looking for it, you're not really going to see. I could have heated that up to close the fist a bit more, but I was quite happy with that position anyway. I think it looks quite good. So that is that ball centaur. So the older of you will notice the hobgoblins I've just kept with the original hobgoblins for now. I say for now because I'm not a massive fan of them. But they've come out alright. I'm quite happy with the paint scheme on them. They look okay. I don't think they look too out of place in the team. But they are obviously quite dated poses now. So there's the first one. I've gone for the 4 unique poses that you get in the team. So there's no repeats in it at all. So that's why you see 12 players in front of you, because I intend to, in the league, I'll run 12 players. I might push up to 13, so I might need to paint up another one of these, but then I'll have a repeat pattern of pose, so I'm not 100% keen on doing that. So that's that guy. This one's probably my one of my favourites out of the old style hobgoblins, because he just, you know, he looks a bit more tooled out with his helmet for a Blood Bowl game. And then the guy carrying the ball. So the ball is magnetised, so it just snaps on nicely. So I've magnetised all the bases. Yes, even the blockers, because sometimes the ball will scatter onto them and you'll roll a 6. So that's all those guys. Now the plan I've got a couple of plans really for the hobgoblins, but I needed to get these ready for the kickoff, because the kickoff is, well, probably as you're watching this video, we've probably just kicked off or just about to kick off. So yeah, I've got about a week from filming this video before the kickoff, but I am thinking about converting up some hobgoblins. Now I've got 2 ideas. I've got some Skaven bodies lying around, so I was thinking I could use the Skaven bodies, cut off the tails, and then use the new goblin helmets and put that together. There's quite a lot of shaving because obviously the Skaven have got quite a lot of fur texture to them. So that's one of the ideas that I had. I've knocked up a test model, but it's not quite where I want it to be. So when I get it to a stage where I think it looks alright, I might do a video on how to convert that. The other one which I've seen is it's one of the it's an Age of Sigmar model. I think it's a flagellant or something. So you can use their bodies, and then you can use a night goblin head. That looks quite good. I've seen some of those online, so I was thinking I might go for something like that to replace these, or I might just stick with these. You know, it depends. It depends at the end of this season how well this team's done. If it does quite well, then I'm likely to keep it. If it doesn't do very well, then I'm likely to sort of go with another new shiny team, depending on if Games Workshop's actually released any shiny teams. I probably won't go for any elf team. I'm not really a massive fan of elves. I don't mind dark elves, but yeah, I just find them a bit too, you know, agility 4, 2+ to do everything. There's no challenge in that, is there? So yeah, but anyway, I'm rambling on now, so I'll bring the video to a close. So hopefully you like those. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Always great to hear your feedback. So thanks for watching, guys, and like the video if you liked it, and share it all around. It really helps us out, and we'll see you in the next one.